Hey guys, happy Wednesday. So we have our last request for the week, and this one's a little bit tricky, but I was asked if I could show you guys how to make a Jurassic Park logo. We're going to be making this one together. This one's definitely a little bit trickier, so it might not be great if you're from like maybe kindergarten to second grade. You can definitely try it. You can make some changes so that it's a little bit easier for you. But just letting you know right now, it's not like the easiest drawing that we've done for sure. There's lots of little parts to this, but we're gonna do it and it's still gonna be a lot of fun. We actually can combine some of the things that we've been learning in our other drawing videos. Let's get started on our Jurassic Park drawing here. You definitely wanna start with pencil. And you're gonna probably need like markers, a black marker obviously for most of it. But yeah, let's get our coloring stuff, let's get our pencils and our erasers, and let's get started. Okay guys, so again, definitely start with pencil. I'm gonna do everything in marker so it's easier for you to see, but I had to do all this in pencil first, my first time around, because it was a little bit tricky for me too. So start with pencil. What we're gonna do first is we're gonna make this rectangle for where it says Jurassic Park, or you can write Jurassic World if you want to as well. We're gonna start by drawing just the black rectangle. There is this yellow kind of around it, but we're not gonna do that right now. So leave a little space for that yellow outline. On my first drawing I kind of made the logo small on the paper. I'm gonna make it a little bigger this time around. So a little bit, not quite in the middle, a little lower than the middle, I'm going to draw a rectangle that goes almost all the way across to the other side. We'll try to keep it in the middle so that there's the same amount of space on both sides of the rectangle. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to draw the outline for the red circle. The red circle with the T-Rex inside. So starting like a little ways over from the edge of the rectangle, we're gonna go up and over. I go super slow and careful because I want my circle to look pretty even. That's not too bad. And then, well, it's not a circle, it's a down curved line like a frowny face, but you know, it turns into a circle if you go the other way around. All right, so now I'm gonna make the outline for the bottom half of the red circle. Notice how there's a lot more of it up here and only a little bit underneath. So there's gonna be more space on top and a lot less on the bottom. That's how it should be. So I just take my marker or pencil and I go straight down from the line that I did up here. And I'm gonna make another curved line. This one's kind of like a smiley mouth and a lot shorter. And I'm gonna try my best to connect it back to this one. That's pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's good enough for what we're doing. All right. Now what we can work on, guys, is we can work on making our outline that goes all the way around everything so we can add that yellow part in later. So I'm gonna start somewhere easy like this corner, and I'm gonna move just a little bit out, and I'm gonna start basically just tracing around my entire shape that I just made. All right, so we have our basic shape down for the logo. Obviously we need to add our T-Rex and like our trees and leaves at the bottom. Let's start with the simple stuff. We'll do our trees and our leaves. So inside this space here, remember our big outline, that's all just gonna be yellow, so we're gonna leave that alone for a while. In this space here, I'm gonna do like a wiggly line. That's gonna be for the ground. And then you're just gonna draw a bunch of leaves and trees. Jurassic Park trees kind of look like palm trees, so I draw two curved lines and then I make a couple leaves. They're usually like also two curved lines, like a frowny mouth and a smiley mouth that meet. You can draw however many leaves you want. I'm just gonna go around and add a bunch of trees to fill up the space, and then I'll show you guys some of the other plants on the bottom. All right, and then I'm gonna add some plants near the bottom. So Some of my plants are just gonna look like the leaves from my trees, but touching the ground. And then you can also draw plants because this is a silhouette. And what a silhouette means is a picture of something that's just all black usually or all one color, and you just kind of see the outline of it. So because it's a silhouette, we don't have to add a lot of details. So I can even just kind of scribble near the ground line and it'll just look like some shaggy grass on the ground. So you can even just do that too. Okay. So there we go, I got my shapes for the bottom part. I am going to just leave it for now. Obviously we'll be coloring it in later, but for now, we'll leave it that way. Now, let's move on to our big guy here. Now there's a lot of shapes there, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by kind of making it mostly smooth without all the little bumps for the bones, and then we'll add those on later. That's how I made it easier for myself. So first, we're gonna draw a little bit of a curved line for the back. I'm gonna start about here, leaving enough space kind of above. So start about here. Curved line for the back. Okay, stop. Definitely don't have this line go further than the center. If it goes way past the center of your circle, there's no room for your T-Rex's head, which is the coolest part, I think, of the skeleton. So leave it like that. And then we're gonna draw a line, a little diagonal line like this. So starting down here, maybe where it's touching the sign, diagonal line. And then it's also going to bump up like this. So diagonal line and then another kind of a little bit more of an angle here. Gonna make this a teeny bit longer so that they're right above and below each other. Okay, perfect. Now we're gonna work on the shape for the neck and the head. So for the neck, it kind of curves up and over. This should definitely go a little bit past the center. And then down here for the bottom of the neck, it's just gonna be more of a kind of straight line. This one is not as long as this one. Now we're gonna work on the shapes for the head and the jaws, okay? So on this top one, give a little bump, little tiny like triangle shape, and then a line that just goes down. Straight line, but it's angled downwards. Then we're gonna do another straight line that angles down even more. And then another straight line that goes back. So we kind of made an arrow shape here. Whew. Okay guys, I know that's a lot of different little lines that go a little bit different ways. We're almost done though. You guys are doing great. So I'm gonna make a straight line now. This is gonna go back pretty far. It can go back further than this bump, but not too much further. And now I'm gonna work on this bottom jaw, okay? We'll start down here. We're gonna make a line that goes down like that, and then kind of back this way. And then a little smiley mouth. This smiley mouth line should not go further than this top part of the jaw, okay? So a little smiley line, and then we're gonna make a wavy line. It kind of just bends down a little bit, and then when it gets to this point, it bends back up and kind of connects to that part there. So if you guys have this on here, the rest is gonna be super simple compared to this. It's way easier than you think. We're gonna make a few little shapes now to make it look kind of bony and more like a fossil. So first of all, I like to do the little eye shape. It's kind of like an arrow, like a bubble arrow, like that. And then there's this kind of little shape. It's like a rectangle with a little bump coming out the side right there. And then a little oval here. We're gonna make some sharp teeth, okay? They're like two curved lines that are pointed together. You can make some of the teeth a little bit longer and some a little shorter. You know, the teeth of the dinosaur are curved like this so that when they eat food, the food stays in their mouth. The curved teeth kind of help hold it in. Just trying to make that a little bit pointier. There we go. Okay, nice. We got that done. Now, see this part here where it's really sharp? I'm just going to take my marker and I'm going to smooth that out a little bit. So if you have any parts that are like really sharp, like up here is pretty sharp, you can smooth that out too at any point. The sharp lines help us when we're making it, but then they don't quite look realistic when we're done. All right, time for arms. Right here on this bump, this little chest bump here, we're gonna do a line that goes down and then up. So it's like got little stick arms to start with. And then a little ways over, down, and then up. So those are our two stick arms to start with. Let's make them a little thicker where they're touching the body. So this first part of the arm, we can make a little thicker. And then this part of the arm, make it a teeny bit thicker where it's touching, but then just let it get skinnier and skinnier to the end. Okay, now we gotta add those claw fingers. So I'm gonna draw kind of like a little oval or rectangle shape. It's like a rounded rectangle, I guess. And some little curly finger toenails. All right, we have a few more bony parts to add, you guys. So let's add some of the ribs. It's gonna be 2 curved lines that you will fill in. So just do a couple of those. You might have 4 or 5, whatever fits and looks normal. And then we just have to add a few little spiky parts here. Honestly, I don't really know what this is. I don't think this is supposed to be a bone, but that's what's in the logo and it looks cool, so we're adding it. On the back, I'm gonna add some rounded rectangles, but they're gonna be rounded rectangles that aren't perfectly even on both sides, and some can be more like a rounded triangle too, if you want. As you go onto the back of the neck, let's make some really small ones that start getting bigger and bigger as they get up towards the top of the head. All right, and I'm looking, you know what guys, I think we're done with that actually, so we can leave that alone for now. Whew, that was a lot of work, I know. Before we work on the logo for the sign, I'm gonna get my black marker. I'm not gonna use Sharpie, but I'm gonna get my black marker here and color in my dinosaur and this bottom part here. So I'm gonna do that and then we will do the rest in just a minute. Alright guys, so seeing it colored in, it's starting to come together, right? Now we gotta do the Jurassic Park logo, or you could write Jurassic World, doesn't really matter. And I'm gonna show you how to make the bubble letters the way they do on the logo. It's actually really similar to how I taught you guys how to make bubble letters a few weeks ago. I don't even remember when that was, but it was a while ago. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start with a red marker for each of these letters, or pencil first to be safe. Now for me, one of the hardest things to do is making my letters centered. What I mean by that is I don't write my word out and either don't have space for the letters, or sometimes I write my words out and there's a huge empty space on one side, which just drives me crazy. So that's why I normally do things like this in pencil first, but I'll just do it in marker for you guys. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna start close to the left side, and I am going to just draw a letter J. For every letter you draw, you need to have space to put this white border around it, so your letters should not be super close together, or else it just won't work the same way. It'll still look cool, but it just won't be the same. So try to keep them a little spaced out. And I'm gonna do the J, and then I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna put the P for park, so that I can kind of look And as I'm writing my letters for Jurassic here, if I suddenly notice that I'm getting a little close to this, I can start making my letters smaller. It helps me. So I'm doing my bubble letters. On the original one, they don't really have like curves, some of the letters. They're like pointed. See how the bottom of my U is pointy? So you can do that if you want to make it really close to the original. I recommend looking at a picture of what the logo looks like if it's really important for you for the letters to look the same. For my letter A, it's a little flat on top instead of pointy. The letter S's are kind of squished, like they're skinny. And then letter I, ooh, and perfect. We have enough space. I didn't make it too close together. That is a first for me. All right, now I'm gonna go over to park. So P, A, R, and K. All right, so I have my letters that spell out Jurassic Park. Now what I want to do is I want to create this white border around them. So I'm going to take my black marker, my Sharpie, and I am going to kind of trace around each letter. If your letters get too close together and there is not enough space for you to trace all the way around one of them without it touching the other, see how my A and my R here are kind of connected? You can just trace around, think of the letters as like a picture and just trace around the whole thing. And the outline will be a little thicker, but that still looks fine. It looks okay there. I think on this one I did a little bit better job spacing my letters out, so I don't know if I'll have to do that. Don't forget to trace on the insides of the letters R, A, and P, because you got those inside parts. All right, and once you have those traced, then you can take your black marker or crayon or whatever you're coloring with, and you can carefully and slowly fill in all the space around your letters, and you'll start to see that they kind of look like the bubble letters from the logo that says Jurassic Park. Don't forget to color in the little shapes that are inside the letters P, A, and R to help make them look a little bit more like bubble letters. All right, guys, so all that's left after you do that is, of course, coloring your red on your background in this part. Don't forget inside those little holes in the face, and your red down here, and then your yellow outline all around. I am not going to do that part for you because my hand is cramping up. This is a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun trying to figure out how to show you guys how to make it, and I hope you guys had fun following along. But just keep coloring it in until you finish your Jurassic Park logo. Alright guys, I hope you had fun making your Jurassic Park logo with me. Again, this one was definitely a little bit more complicated than a lot of the ones you've been doing, so if you struggled a little bit, it's okay. There's a lot of little stuff in here, but definitely it combines a lot of the things that we've already been doing, so you might find that you're better at it than you thought. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another video. Bye!